Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. This will be my full Marvel What If Season 3 Episode 1 video. There were a whole bunch of Easter eggs and references here. They basically did their own version of World War Hulk crossed with Voltron in Power Rangers. And a whole lot of Godzilla inside the MCU. If you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the episodes. I'll be doing videos for all of them, and this is meant to be the final season of the show for now, they said. Like, there'll be like a second 2.0 version of the show after they do a bunch of X-Men movies, a bunch of Fantastic Four stuff. Basically, they're going to cancel the show and just give themselves time to introduce a bunch more of the classic comic book characters, namely X-Men related stuff, so they can do what if seasons with a bunch of X-Men characters. They are going to have some X-Men stuff happening this season because we did have X-Men 97, but they said that the rule in general is they're not allowed to do characters on What If that haven't appeared in previous Marvel productions like TV shows or movies. Which is why they can't do, say, like Doctor Doom or the Fantastic Four this season because they won't show up till next year. But they can do What If Storm wielded Mjolnir from the comics because we've already seen X-Men 97 and that version of Storm is going to be in the episode. Like, it'll be the actress who plays her during X-Men 97. This season also a big deal because they're doing way more of the brand new characters they just introduced in Marvel Phase 4 and Marvel Phase 5 like Moon Knight, Shang-Chi. There are a whole bunch of characters, like even Monica Rambeau is a brand new character. The actual episode title was What If Hulk Fought the Mech Avengers? It's mostly meant to be a reference to Bruce Banner creating a new Avenger protocol called the Mighty Avenger, which is both a reference to Mighty Morphin Power Rangers with the Megazord and all the Avengers characters getting their own Zord mech, and Voltron because of that whole cartoon at the beginning of the episode. Some of the designs are also based on Voltron designs, some on Power Rangers designs, and some on Gundam designs too. So like they draw influences from a bunch of different mech series. In the episode, they use the call to action Avenger Assemble, which is similar to what the Power Rangers, what Voltron said when they're assembling the Megazord and Voltron, being a play on the whole Avengers Assemble cry. There's also a bunch of Godzilla Monsterverse references during this too, because basically Bruce Banner accidentally creates his own version of a Godzilla Hulk that then replicates and creates a whole bunch of kaiju. He even winds up turning himself into a Godzilla version of Hulk. The opening title is the same animated one from previous seasons, but the theme music is totally new, and they use it for this 4x3 in-universe Power Rangers Voltron TV episode that plays called Go Avenger, Heroes of the Gamma War. As if that was a real TV show in the history of this version of the MCU, like in this universe, like a Saturday morning cartoon. It's meant to be inspired by the original Voltron cartoon in the early 80s because you notice a lot of the characters, like the Avengers here, are designed from the character models from the Voltron pilots. Go Avenger is also a reference to the Voltron series because Voltron is actually a Western adaptation of a Japanese anime called Beast King Go Lion. There are many examples of Western cartoons like Robotech that were adapted from Japanese anime. Even X-Men the Animated Series, now X-Men 97, is anime-inspired, but it's not actual anime itself. The watcher plays it as if he's narrating the actual TV episode, like he's the announcer from these original episodes. The TV episode does a quick recap at the beginning, like a lot of classic cartoons do recaps to explain the fictional universe of that. But the way they play it, even though it's meant to be like an 80s cartoon that kids in the present day of this Marvel universe are watching, it's actually based on the plot of the actual episode and the way things play out with the Gamma War. Notice they have the original 6 Avengers, but without the Hulk. The van with the Avengers symbol on the side makes me think it's a Scooby-Doo reference with the Mystery Machine. They have battles with Ultron. Notice his design is based a little bit more like the animated versions of Ultron. There are numerous Avengers animated series they've had the past many years. They explain that at a certain point, the Hulk unleashed gamma-infused monsters on the world. They look kind of like Godzilla kaiju references. Because of the Godzilla lore, the backstory is that Godzilla is created from the radiation in atomic bombs too. So Hulk basically creates a bunch of Hulk Godzillas in this fake cartoon show. Like I said, a lot of these character models are based on the character models from the Voltron pilots. That's why they look so old-timey here. This Iron Man in this cartoon creates the Avengers Megazord or the Avengers Voltron, basically a giant Iron Man Hulkbuster armor suit that they all use. They also do the funny kids cartoon thing of theming their Hulkbusters after their characters and suits. Notice that Thor is also wielding a giant version of Mjolnir with a giant enchantment on it. I'm not really sure how they created this. Maybe they just found some more Uru metal and found a way to make it way bigger. Maybe they just use magic to make Mjolnir bigger. The Black Widow one with the red-looking hair on the outside of her mech also looks really funny too. Like it's very kids' cartoon that they give her mech red hair. They reveal in present day just a random girl, she's not meant to be a Marvel character from any of the movies or anything like that, is just watching this like it's an old in-universe cartoon, like I said, from the 80s basically. Eating a Captain America themed cereal called Captain's Munchies, which is a Captain Crunch parody, to reveal that Gamma Kaiju from the fake in-universe cartoon are now totally real and are destroying the city. Then they play the old Marvel What If intro from previous seasons, but they worked in scenes in all the shards from this season's episodes. I feel like I don't need to break this part down because we're literally going to see all these episodes once per day for the next 8 days, so like you won't have to wait to see all this stuff. Like I said, most of the characters this season will be brand new characters that we just met during Marvel Phase 4, Marvel Phase 5. Really good example of that is they're doing a lot of big stuff with like Mysterio, there's Spider-Man stuff happening this season, and also doing some stuff with the Eternals and the Celestials coming back. Then the Watcher recaps what actually happened in the present day of this universe to start the actual Gamma War, with like their version of World War Hulk basically. World War Hulks as in multiple. One of the other reasons why they're also using this twist with World War Hulks, like a bunch of gamma monsters all over the world that they're fighting, is because eventually we're going to see a version of that in the live-action movies, but with a bunch of Hulks popping up all over the world. I believe they're setting that up at the end of Captain America 4 Brave New World, where like the leader will be giving the Hulk serum to a bunch of different countries, and that's how they get to their own MCU version of World War Hulk. A lot of this episode is also using tropes that they're going to reuse during Captain America 4 Brave New World. So like they're using it to set up a lot of ideas that they'll pay off during that movie. Like the whole Sam Wilson Captain America talk no jutsu, where he basically talks down the Hulk version of Godzilla. We're basically going to see a version of that happen when he fights the Red Hulk during Captain America 4. So like this is kind of a preview for the way that goes down. They explained the original Gamma War started around the Marvel Phase 2 era with Hulk and Sam Wilson's Captain America in a parody of that Winter Soldier opening scene with On Your Left and Steve Rogers, but it's them instead. The way they make it seem here is that Sam Wilson didn't become friends with Steve Rogers' Captain America the same way that he did in the live-action MCU movies. Instead, he became close friends with Bruce Banner Hulk. He says he's trying to run to relieve stress because he doesn't want to Hulk out as much. He joins Sam Wilson's veteran support group that we saw him leading in Winter Soldier to try and get some therapy. They do explain that Steve Rogers is still currently Captain America in the universe on the Avengers, and Sam Wilson is still Falcon at this point. They go to his family home on his boat with his sister. We met her during Falcon and Winter Soldier, get caught in a storm, and he accidentally hulks out, leaving, and he's so disgusted with himself, like he can't stand it anymore, that he tries to perform an experiment to literally remove all the gamma from his body, which goes, as you would expect, this is a Marvel thing, horribly wrong. With him basically splintering his personality so that like a pure Hulk form gamma monster emerges from him that they just call the Alpha in the episode. But the way they explain it, he still has the ability after this to actually physically Hulk out. Like he doesn't lose the ability to Hulk out. Like he doesn't remove all the gamma from himself. But the monster that winds up splintering from him is just like pure Hulk, like the pure personification of rage. With it also being a spin on Godzilla kaiju monsters. You can let me know which creature from the Monsterverse you think this looks most like maybe Destoroyah, just a little bit with all the spikes sticking out of it. But that's basically what it is. It's basically like a Godzilla monster, but in Hulk form. It grows in size, starts creating more of its kind, replicating. The Avengers create bigger Hulkbusters with Iron Man's help. Then they play the Avengers theme music. They call them Earth's Mightiest Heroes, which is one of the Avengers' nicknames in the comics. Then they reveal that the army of Gamma Monsters basically wipes the original Avengers, R.I.P. When the Watcher says the surviving heroes form a new Avengers team, that's also a sly reference at the new Avengers forming in the MCU live-action movies, because some of the original Avengers are dead, and some will come back for that new team too. In this early version, there's Monica Rambeau, Sam Wilson, Captain America, who's taken the shield and the mantle, and Winter Soldier. I love the way they design some of their Hulkbusters too, like he's designed to look like his original Winter Soldier outfit with the shiny arm. I wonder if everybody gave them notes on the aesthetics when they were building their Hulkbusters, like I want mine to look kind of like this, I want mine to look a little bit like my costume over here. The red one is for Shang-Chi, the green one is actually for Nakia. I'm not sure why they're using her instead of Shuri or Killmonger, or say like a version of Black Panther, taking the mantle in the universe. Like, why wouldn't you use one of the more powerful characters? Maybe because they're using those characters in twists in other episodes this season, and they just wanted to use like a brand new Black Panther-based character that they hadn't used in previous seasons. Like, we haven't done an episode with Nakia in a long time, why don't we use her in an episode? Sometimes it does feel like one of the weaknesses of the What If episodes that they're like, well, we haven't used X character in a while, why don't we throw them in an episode, as opposed to like the best possible character they could include on a particular team. They destroy almost all the monsters, and this is still meant to be the original Gamma War, but the original Alpha survives, starts replicating a new army, and 10 years goes by. They reveal that they're using a larger upgraded S.H.I.E.L.D. helicarrier as their home base. This scene with him briefing the Avengers, you see a Monica Rambeau cameo. The actress who plays her in the movies and on WandaVision came back to voice her character. Pretty much all the actors from the movies came back to do their characters, with a couple examples. Melina didn't come back and Nakia didn't come back, so they just got random voice actors to do those characters. Left to right though, it's Nakia, then Red Guardian and Melina, Shang-Chi, and then Oscar Isaac also came back to do his Moon Knight in the episode. So Oscar Isaac making his debut in the animated series. First time we've actually seen Moon Knight come back since Moon Knight Season 1. Don't worry, he will come back in live action eventually. I believe this is also the first time that Simu Liu has come back as Shang-Chi since the events of the Shang-Chi movie as well too. They're gonna do Shang-Chi too, but the director who's gonna do that is also directing Spider-Man 4 right now, and Marvel is like, no way, we're gonna do Spider-Man 4 first. It's way more important because we're gonna make way more money on that. So we're probably not gonna see Shang-Chi 2 till like after Secret Wars. Red Guardian makes a joke that he should have gone for the head, nice Avengers Infinity War Thor reference. They want to go get help from Bruce Banner to fight the Gamma monsters. In the cartoon that Bucky mentions where he lives at the center of a volcano is meant to be that Go Avengers cartoon. Him saying the show is a pretty great show is also the What If TV show writers calling their own show great, like, What If, actually pretty great show. Almost a little bit of fourth wall breaking, like it's not quite a fourth wall break, Deadpool style. They reveal the giant army of Hulk monsters. Them swimming through the ocean too is also a Godzilla move. Whole lot of Godzilla kaiju movie references during this. Sam Wilson then goes to the Astra Islands to get Bruce Banner's help. So this is also a deep cut Hulk Easter eggs for like the very old classic comics in the 60s. These islands are from the old Tales to Astonish Hulk stories, issue number 64 in 1964. They were an abandoned test site where Bruce Banner created a device to absorb nuclear blasts, which they also incorporate to the later part of the episode with like the new gamma core that winds up being him absorbing all the gamma. During the original comic book this was based on, he developed a device on the island to absorb nuclear energy that was then stolen by the leader. He references this later in the episode when he says this is an abandoned government pet project in a nuclear bomber that he winds up using later. Like, this is all stuff from the original comic, basically. My guess is they're also using a lot of these plot elements with Sam Wilson, the Hulk, the leader, all this Gamma stuff, World War Hulk stuff, because we'll be seeing some of them in Captain America Brave New World, or they'll be setting up some of those plot elements like setting up a World War Hulk. They treat this whole island secret base a little bit like Hulk's secret base that Iron Man created for him inside the live-action MCU. We saw that during She-Hulk, like he's been chilling out there doing research since the events of Avengers Endgame. He makes a whole bunch of villain references. Aliens is another Chitauri Thanos Avengers movie reference. Spooky Wizards is more of a Caecilius Doctor Strange reference. And Evil Gods is a Loki reference. Bruce Banner reveals that he's afraid to turn into the Hulk again, but gives him the Mighty Avenger Protocol. Notice the S.H.I.E.L.D. logo on screen too. Like I said, this whole concept of them not being able to actually beat the Hulk like Sam Wilson Captain America, even with a giant Voltron Avengers mech, can't defeat this giant Hulk army. He has to find a way to talk no jutsu, talk himself out of the situation. Which is meant to be a preview for basically the way things go down with him fighting Red Hulk in Captain America 4. Like, no way he could actually beat him in an actual fight. He's gonna have to talk him down, sun's getting real low style. I've gotten so many questions about that in all the Captain America 4 trailers, like, how does he fight him without getting crushed into a tin can? Well, the secret is that he doesn't. In the episode, though, the big twist, this was pretty hard. They reveal that Bruce Banner actually created the Mighty Avenger Protocol as a way for them to kill him eventually. Because remember, he created this during the 10-year gap when they thought that the Gamma monsters had been erased. So this whole time, over the past 10 years, he'd been developing it as a way to kill himself. He actually referenced trying to do this during the first Avengers movie too. Like, that first Avengers movie actually went harder when it came to the Hulk than pretty much any of the future movies that the Hulk was in. Bruce Banner revealed that he basically tried to kill himself, but he hulked out and just spat the bullet out of his mouth. When Bucky makes a Colonel Kurtz volcano reference, that's an Apocalypse Now reference to Marlon Brando's character, who goes crazy and starts thinking of himself as a god worshipped by the locals. Funny enough, that almost winds up happening, like almost at the end of the episode, when he becomes King of the Monsters, Godzilla style. All the new Gamma monsters start attacking the city. They do their Voltron moment of the mechs assembling. This is also a bit of a Power Rangers Megazord reference too. They incorporate the 10 rings into the design too. The weapon they use is based on Moon Knight's crescent darts, but it's in pole arm form and the energy-based Captain America shield. But they're still not powerful enough to stop the Apex. Bruce Banner then has to do his own On Your Left rally say, which itself is meant to be an Avengers Endgame reference to Sam Wilson coming in through the portals to help Captain America. Bringing the now reactivated nuclear bomb with a quote-unquote brand new core that winds up just being him, like he is the new core that's going to absorb all the Gamma because he plans on turning himself into what they call a Mega Hulk, like a Godzilla Hulk that can actually be powerful enough to defeat the Alpha. All because he plans on becoming the new King of the Monsters, like he is literally Godzilla in the MCU, just a Hulk version of him. Notice their skin also kind of looks a little bit like it's shades of the Abomination skin, like it's a little bit Abomination here, but it's more of a Godzilla style reference. They have their big Kaiju Hulk battle. He even does his own Gamma version of Godzilla's atomic breath, like he really is a Godzilla Hulk. Then the episode basically plays out like the end of the Godzilla King of the Monsters movie, with him becoming king of all the Gamma monsters. Red Guardian's whole tea with Lenin reference is an old Soviet Union political joke. Then Sam Wilson says his goodbyes to him, talk no jutsu style, getting him to chill just a little bit, like he was about to also turn around and attack the city. But the whole idea now is that even though he does a sun's getting real low buddy kind of speech, the Hulk cannot turn back into human form, like he is trapped in Hulk form for the rest of his life. That's his real sacrifice. There's still a little bit of Banner's mind that's still there. We see the Watcher in the sky watching everything play out, start to chill out, and they reveal that Hulk led the army back to his Apex Islands. So the idea now is in this universe, there's just like an island full of Gamma monsters just chilling out in the middle of the ocean, like just sitting there like, okay, I guess we're just going to leave all the monsters here. Hopefully they don't go off the rails any point in the future. Sort of like a dead Celestial kind of twist, like what are we going to do about this giant Celestial just chilling out here now? Over the end credits, they just play the normal What If theme music with the background scenes from previous parts of the episode. Generally, it seemed like a pretty decent episode for an opening for Season 3. It seems like Season 3 episodes will go a little bit harder than Season 2. Season 2 was a little more mid. If there are any Easter eggs or references that you spotted during the episode that I didn't talk about in the video, just write them below in the comments. The really big reminder is that they're doing the same thing they did last year where they release one episode per day, so my episode videos will post each day through episode 8. There are only 8 episodes this season. There's a bunch of big stuff happening this week too. We also have the Dune finale, that'll be my next big video, and we also have Creature Commandos and Skeleton Crew still going on this week too. Make sure to enable alerts for my channel so you don't miss any of that. There'll be a bunch of big stuff happening. I just did a whole bunch of videos about the brand new Superman trailer. There's a whole bunch of Easter eggs. Click here for that, and click here for all my What If episodes. I'll update the link as soon as I post my episode 2 video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.